Hi there, Keith here again from Target Property Spain. I'm joined once again by Alex Radford from My Lawyer in Spain. And today we're talking all about the 90 in 180 day rule that now applies to Brits since Brexit. Alex, welcome.
Hi there, Keith. Thanks for the kind invite.
Always a pleasure. So, Brits at the moment, Britain no longer being part of the EU, they are limited to a stay of 90 days in 180 without a visa, correct?
That's right. So I mean, those rules were in place before Brexit.
Of course, yeah.
So that applied to non-Europeans. You want to spend more, you can apply for a visa. But at the moment, we're restricted to 90 days in 180 days.
And it can be quite confusing for many of our clients. I mean, how does it actually work? When does the clock start ticking? Is it January the 1st, or is it from the first point of entry into the country?
So in effect, Keith, it starts from the time you come in. So it's the point of entry. Okay. And my best advice to clients and non-Europeans out there is to download a Schengen calculator, keep all receipts of travel in and out, and to ensure that their passport gets stamped. Because basically, if you outstayed the 90 days, then you could have some uncomfortable conversations with frontier police when you leave. You could be fined, you could be deported. They might put a stamp in your passport, etc. And it's obviously not nice to have that. So keep to the 90 days. And for example, it's a very good reason to do that, because if you don't want to become a Spanish tax resident, again, Spanish tax residency, January to December, 183 days here. If you don't want to become a Spanish tax resident, keep the Schengen calculator and get your passport stamped when you come in and also when you get out.
Okay, so you go online, Google Schengen calculator, and there's various apps and websites that are going to help you determine exactly when you should be coming in and when you should be leaving the country.
Yes.
Great, okay. And is that 90 days in 180 days limited to Spain, or as a non-European, does that apply to the whole of Europe? So, for example, could you come and spend 90 days here in Spain and then go to France for 2 months?
No, in effect, you've got to spend 90 days in one country and then you've got to leave. So potentially, I'd say Europe aren't probably controlling or regulating this as much, especially when you're coming in, say you're driving with your car, right? Okay. But if you fly in, they're stamping your passport in and out, so it's much more it's easier to control. But I think if you were driving along, you drove out of Spain, you drove through France into Spain, Portugal, etc., I think you'd probably get away with the days. But if you got stopped, it could be an issue, because you're actually allowed 90 days and 180 days, and you've got to go back to your home country.
Okay. Yeah. So in effect, if you spend 90 days here, you shouldn't be driving back home. You should be flying back.
You should get back within those 90 days.
Okay.
Yeah. And bear in mind, that some of the visa options we talked about, if you get, for example, a non-lucrative visa, that means you're allowed to stay in Spain, but you're only allowed 90 days in the other European Schengen countries as well.
Okay.
So you can't go and spend more time there just because you've got the Spanish visa. So that's important to bear in mind. But yeah, download a Schengen calculator, get the stamp in and out, and stick to the 90 days if you don't want those uncomfortable conversations when you're travelling back home with the children.
Nobody wants an uncomfortable conversation.
Especially with frontier border guards.
Alex, thank you very much for your time once again.
Thanks a lot.
That's all for now. Catch up soon.